I'm a few days late on this, but it's time to check in on week 8 and judge how I did overall for the entire process. I did it. I got the fad pads down. I've smoothed out my lower back, so let's dig in and see how I did. Okay, well here we are at the very end. This is the week number 8 update, so we'll be winding all this down. I'll give you my final thoughts on how everything went. Also, as a reminder, I explained my grading system in the video for week number 1, so be sure to go check that out. Pattern 1. This is another good week for breath. I did use it intentionally, and I have to say that this is probably the pattern that I did best throughout. I got an A every single time I did this. So overall for breath, I give myself an A all around. Pattern 2. Hydration was almost perfect this week. I did have one day where I was a little bit off. I also think that one of the medications I'm taking is keeping me permanently dehydrated, so I did hit my 96 ounces per day practically every day of each week. So for this week I'm giving myself a B for hydration because I did go to Carowinds, and I'll tell you more about that during the rest portion of this video, but I didn't drink enough while I was walking around the heat. However, although this week for hydration is a B, overall I give myself for the 8-week program an A- for hydration. Pattern 3. For nutrition this week, I'm giving myself a B. I have been a little bit more organic and flexible about eating lately because I'm experimenting with a modified keto diet where I'm removing carbohydrates and replacing them with fats, but I'm not doing keto per se. I'm just trying to be cognizant of the way in which my food is affecting my insulin response. So when you put that together, that cognition about insulin response along with intermittent fasting, I found that I had very good results from that. So I do highly recommend a modified keto diet with intermittent fasting. This week I give myself a B for nutrition. However, for the entirety of the entire program, it looks like I'm getting a B for nutrition for the full 8 weeks. Pattern 4. Strength this week was also modified based on what I felt I needed going into the photo shoot itself. So I'm giving myself a B because although I did strength training 3 or 4 times this week, I didn't do it with any particular sense of direction or intensity. I was just trying to stay active. So I didn't feel like that really garnered excellence in strength training, but I did do it each day practically. So I'm giving myself a B for this week. And overall, strength training is a B+ for the entire 8-week program. Pattern 5. Week 8 also included conditioning, just like I did for week 7, and I did stay up with the conditioning. I'm giving myself an A for conditioning this week. And because of all the C's that I got weeks 1 through 6, because I wasn't doing conditioning at all, that artificially tempers the effect of my conditioning grade overall. So although I'm giving myself an A for this week, conditioning overall is still a C for the entire program because I didn't include it very much. So I think it's fair to give myself a C for conditioning overall. Pattern 6. With flexibility this week, I did make more time to do that for myself. So it was an improvement. I was looking to add more thoughtful effort towards flexibility training. I did do some of that this week. So I'm giving myself a B for flexibility this week, and overall, a B. I give myself a B overall for flexibility. Pattern 7. I think that I did pretty well with focus this week. I never did include any of the meditation that I've been talking about. And going forward in my life, that's something that I need to look at because I do benefit from it. I enjoy it when I do it. I did have quiet, thoughtful time to myself several times this week. I don't know that I would call it meditation per se, but on top of the other professional practices with Instagram and my accomplishment journal and everything else that I was already doing, I think that I felt very focused and productive for the week. So this week I am going to go ahead and give myself a B for focus, and overall I get a B plus for focus. Rest, as you will know if you've watched these videos, has been a point of concern for me throughout the entire process, but I have good news. This is week number 8, and I finally in week 8 am giving myself an A for rest. I had lots of mornings where I was able to sleep in, so I felt much better rested. I took time off from work completely. A lot of it's because clients are out of town for 4th of July and gay pride trips all over the place. And I was productive with my own Integrate projects when those studio clients were gone. However, I did get more sleep, I did take more time off, and finally this weekend, yesterday, I went to Carowinds. I was there for 9 hours. We rode the Fury 325 7 times. We rode a couple of the other rides once each. We saw 2 shows. It felt really good to be out and about and to socialize, and so I'm finally here at the very, very end giving myself an A for rest for this week. And overall for the entire 8-week program, my grade for rest is a C minus. Something I've said every week is that there's always room for improvement and that there always will be. Part of what I was trying to do with this 8-week program was to get ready for a photo shoot, but also to reconnect very specifically with the sense of order and discipline that has helped me age, I think, pretty gracefully. I'm about to turn 42 on June 29th, which is less than a week away. I think I'm doing pretty good. You could do worse at 42. So I have done the photo shoot, and I found that I was a little bit off the mark for my goals, my personal goals. I didn't get quite as lean as I wanted to, but I still made very good progress, and I'm going to use this as the jumping off point for another 8-week program. It'll be very different from the one that I've done this time around in terms of exercises and everything. So I think that when I go forward, I'm going to have to be stricter about food, and now that I have found over the course of this process a strategy that I think is working for me, I will make even better progress. So for the overall program for all 8 weeks together, I'm giving myself a B, and I think that's justified because if I had really honed in on everything as strictly and clearly as I had originally intended, I would have had even better results. But the results speak for themselves, so I can't give myself an A if I missed the mark. So I think it's fair to give myself a B overall for this entire 8-week process. I consider it pretty successful, and I look forward to doing it again. Doing these videos and having these updates kept me honest, kept me consistent, and so I will be doing this again. I'm going on vacation for my birthday, and when I get back, I'll start another process. In the meantime, I hope that you have found this encouraging and helpful. If you have any questions, just please feel free to contact me, and I look forward to doing this again.